So we're going to bring on our first guest. She's no stranger to the show, but she has a brand new book. And today, I believe, is book release day. And her name is Tameka Fryer Brown. Today is book release day, correct?
It is. It's launch day.
Yay! Yay! So, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. And congratulations on another book. And this one, I see it behind you, but do you have one that you can show on the screen?
I do right here. It's called Prayer Is.
Prayer is. Yeah,
Congratulations.
it's
Yes,
beautiful. We can see it a really good shot of it.
yes. Thank you. And
Oh,
it's illustrated by Aliana Harris, who did All the Greatness in You.
okay. All right.
Another
That's
beautiful book.
wonderful.
Yes.
Beautifully done. The cover is beautifully done.
Yeah.
Um, now, I don't think your other books have a religious or faith-based theme. So, what made you decide to go in this direction?
Well, actually, this is a project that interestingly was brought to me. And the story is, I was at a launch event for somebody else, a local author, and one of the people that I know, her name is Kelly Dykstra, and we've known each other for like 20 years. We both started like in a critique group together. Now she's a literary agent, but we were both at this event, and she came to me. She's like, you got books with Joy Peskin, my editor, one of my editors," and I was like, "Yeah." She was like, has she talked to you about a book about prayer? And I was like, no. And she said, because I was talking to her and she's interested in one. And I presented it to one of my clients and it wasn't the right fit for her. But, so I wanted to share it with you and see if you were interested. And I was like, yes, ma'am, I am interested. And so then I messaged Joy and I was like, a little birdie told me that you were interested in a book about prayer. Are you still in the market for that? And she was like, yes, I am. And so that is how I ended up writing this book.
It's
Well,
all people to know people in your corner, to be in
yeah,
the right place at the right
that's
time,
what I was
and the
gonna say.
people who are going to mention your name in rooms that you're not even in at the time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say that the act of writing is a solitary one, but in this business, we need each other. We need other people, like you said, to be advocating for us. And then we need to do that in turn for other people, right? To pay that forward. So, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, people say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And a lot of times just being connected with the right person when the right opportunity opens up
Absolutely.
is um I mean, you can get all kinds of opportunities that way.
Mhm.
Um just on something that happened to us that was just like random. uh, it's been years ago when we were in Ebony magazine, but the way we got in Ebony was when we had first launched Kush City. Uh, I went to the Black Internet Conference, and it's a lady in Chicago named Yvette Moyo that used to put it on when all the tech stuff was taking off, when the internet was taking off, and Ebony was based. Johnson Publishing was based in Chicago.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
she contacted us and said that they were doing a story on people in tech, Black people in tech. They didn't have a woman. And my husband and I worked together. So I was the woman, and the deadline was like 2 or 3 days. They had to find somebody within a short period of time. So that was how we ended up getting in Evan.
Hmm.
This who you know, and having a good relationship and having a good reputation is
Hmm.
important too.
Yeah. And being prepared, staying ready,
Yes,
staying ready. Yeah.
yes, because she wouldn't have recommended you if you weren't already in the space doing things. And even though your books are not technically faith-based, but they are very intentional, almost personal
Hmm.
as far as children are concerned.
Absolutely. I
Believing in
always
yourself and that kind of thing.
Absolutely. Like I always, I've come to realize that I'm approaching my work as a mom. Like I think I kind of ran away from that label or moniker, whatever, for a while. But I was like, you know what? This is what I'm doing. I'm trying to plant seeds, sow seeds in the hearts of kids of pride,
Mhm.
self-love, inclusion, all those things. And so, yeah, I'm coming at it with that love. And also when you're talking about faith-based, this is my first completely faith-based book, but if you read my books, there's always somebody saying grace. There's always, little
Mhm.
things like that that kind of
Mhm.
indicate. And in this last book, All the Greatness in You, Aliana shows her faith-based because she illustrated like the little boy singing in the choir, the church choir.
Mhm.
And so yeah.
Mhm.
Mm,
So that's what I was saying. It's in there.
yeah.
It's just not in the title necessarily,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
where the whole book is about that. But
Well, yeah, I think another good thing about it is that even though you weren't writing faith-based books, the fact that you stick with your brand and your brand stays clean, so to speak.
For
That
sure.
it's not a far-fetched thing for you to move into this space. People, it's not like you were writing something that's like a total 180 to where people would be shocked that you
Right.
write something like this.
Oh, absolutely. And if you follow me on social media, you can see how much my spirituality kind of just is
Right.
part of my life, who I am too. So yeah, for sure.
yeah, you weren't writing like fantasy or like horror, and then
No.
going to prayer is. So that's really good. So tell us a little bit about the content in the book.
Yeah, so I think that the title kind of gives it away. It's about prayer, but it's about all the different things that prayer is, beyond just petition and asking for stuff. And it's about how we can use it, or kids can use it, or adults too. I'm a firm believer picture books are for everybody, but I'll say about how kids can use it on a day-to-day basis to kind of just help them get through life and be better people, to show gratitude, to show concern for other people besides just themselves, and to get through challenging times. And this is what makes it a really timely book right now, because we're all kind of going through some challenging times. And of course, it's about how to grow closer to God as well. So, and it is a children's book. It's spare
Mhm.
text, but when you're reading the text, these concepts are what should come through.
So what's the age range for the book? What's the
4 to 8.
4 to 8?
Yep,
Okay.
4 to 8. Yep,
Okay.
and you can see it's just typical picture book with light. I don't know if you can see this light
Mhm.
text on the
Yeah, I can
page
see
and
really well.
whatnot. So
Hmm.
yeah, so yep. Family, intergenerational, a lot of family oriented illustrations, and like I said, Eliana did such a great job. She's in the grandparents' house. You know how when your grandma always got the curio with the little figurines and the angels, and then she got that in there. There's a lot of culture rich stuff
Grandma,
in
and
the
I have
illustration.
that.
Oh, yeah, you
Well,
do too.
I don't. I'm getting ready to be a grandma, and I don't have a curio. So
Oh, you got to get a
it
curio.
was, I mean,
The little
I,
angels and
yeah,
stuff.
I don't need one for what I have.
Right.
I have lots of kitchen storage. So, but anyway, I get it. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's some traditional things that
Hmm.
are in a lot of people's homes,
Yeah.
and a lot of those aren't as popular now as they used to be.
Yeah. No,
Um,
not really. Unless you
Sometimes,
pass them down or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and a lot of times the younger people don't
No.
necessarily even want them. My sister had some things she was trying to pass on to her daughters who were married, and they didn't want them. She had some china, and and some things, and I do too. I don't know, I have some really good china. I don't know, but I guess once we're gone, they have an estate sale, and people just pick through whatever's left. I don't know. Um, anyway, which book is this for you, Tameka?
This one is number 8. All
Okay.
picture books, yes.
Oh, okay. They're all picture books. It
Hmm.
seems like you started like right when we started the show.
I
Like,
did. Well, actually,
Or you
I
might
think
have
my
been a little bit before, but
yeah, a little bit before, but my first time with you, I think we were talking about Brown Baby Lullaby.
yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah, that
Mhm.
was my third book.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
And so what would you say is the signature? What's Tamika's signature in her books?
Um, from a
What's it
writing,
what's in all of Tamika's books? Like when somebody picks up one of your books, they
mhm,
know they're going to get what?
lyrical language,
Okay.
cultural um, details, representation, um, could be in rhyme, it could not be in rhyme, authenticity, cultural authenticity. Um, and like I said, trying to pour something positive into kids and an emotional truth, all that stuff. When I'm writing, I'm really trying to make sure that what I'm putting on the page is emotionally true for kids in particular. So yeah, but lyrical language. If somebody else were to actually, you know what, I did a talk for some folks, and in preparation for that talk, I did a survey of people and asked them what they thought my brand was, and then I did a
Okay.
Wordle of all the responses, and one of the big things was authenticity, and
Okay.
then language, lyrical rhyme, and that kind of a thing. Yeah.
Okay.
That is a very important thing to do every once in a while, because sometimes what you think your brand is not
Hmm.
what your followers think your brand is. And you can tell because sometimes people really want to help and they'll send you clients who are totally not right for you because they
Hmm.
don't understand what you do. So
Yeah.
that's really amazing that you had that much forethought to do something like that. To ask people, what do you think my brand is? Were you
Right.
surprised at the results?
Um, I if I was surprised at anything, it was how many people said the same things. In particular about authenticity.
Did you
Because I
give
try to be.
them choices or was it a fill in the blank? Was it multiple choice where they
No,
checked off something or was
no,
it
it
open
definitely
ended where they picked
it was
whatever?
open ended. I'm trying to figure
Okay.
out just exactly how it might have been just like, when you think about me as an author, like what do you think about? Like, what comes to mind? And then they just put out all these different words. And then when I
Okay.
took the words and I put them in the Wordle, authenticity was one of the ones that came up a lot. So,
Okay. Now I think about warmth, and your books to me are like a hug, like hugging a child.
well,
That's
that
that's the
I
feeling that I
appreciate
get.
that. I want that
I
too.
love
That's a
that.
goal too. Yeah. Yeah. So
So, but that is interesting. You sometimes now it's also kind of brave because you don't know what people might say.
yeah.
You know,
It's
you
very
try to
brave.
be kind,
Well, I didn't put it out like on
you you didn't put it out for open.
the,
You sent it to a few
yeah,
friends.
I didn't put it on my Facebook page. The people were there, they kind of know me.
You ask
Um,
people you can trust.
yeah, yeah. Well, whoever commented on I do have a lot of people on my Facebook that I don't know who they are so I don't know how I accepted them as friends, probably because they were friends of friends back in the day. I'm a lot more judicious about who I accept now, but
Yeah,
yeah,
me too. If we don't have a good number of mutual friends,
yeah.
I mean a good number, and
I used to have 5,000 friends on Facebook. I was accepting everybody, but my Facebook got the H word about 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I started to rebuild my friends list and I stopped accepting like random requests. And so
Mm-hmm.
now if we don't have a certain number of friends in common, or if I go to your page and I don't see a whole lot of comments or posts, I
Right.
won't accept the request because I'm like, I'm not letting that happen to me again.
Right. Exactly.
yeah. And then too, some people because I'm close to 5,000. I leave like 100 or so, just like for if
For
I
new
meet new
people.
people.
Yeah.
But some people, like, they haven't posted anything on their page in 2 years or whatever. I'm
Mhm.
like, why do you want to be friends?
Right, right. You can clear that
You're
space
not
out for somebody else.
active. you know, and not everybody's going to be daily or even weekly, but when you haven't posted in 2 years, that's really,
Mhm.
and it's not for
Although
everybody.
you could be like my one of my daughters. She really doesn't post on Facebook at all. She
Mhm.
keeps up with what everybody else is doing. So
Well, these are mature people that are just not, because my
Hmm.
daughter doesn't, I have to tag her for her to even go on Facebook.
yeah.
I have to
Well, my
tag.
daughter is. The 20 somethings just don't get on anymore. I
Yeah,
don't
they
even
don't.
No,
bother.
they're on
I don't even
Instagram and
bother
TikTok.
targeting them in my Facebook ads because
Mhm.
they're not gonna watch.
Mm-mm. You're right.
No, no. I do when I do ads, I do fans and friends. So it's the people who see your page, not my personal one, but this is for the
Mhm.
business one. It's people who are followers and then friends of the followers, which means theoretically they
Mhm.
might have some commonalities.
Mhm.
Because with the National Black Book Festival, I really don't want it to get too far afield because I end up with comments like, "When is the National White Book Festival?"
Right. Yeah.
Well,
Or
you saw I got that recently.
Mhm.
I
no,
post I
I
posted that to my page. Somebody said that about my event.
at your event, yeah. Or when is White History Month? Um, I get that. Or this is racist. Or from the other side, like opposite, we're too bougie. We're not, on the black side.
Mhm.
We're not bougie, but I
I'm
get,
bougie.
we're not.
I don't apologize for that.
well,
I'm bougie.
well, we have standards. That's what. And if people call that bougie, so be it. Because there's certain things I'm not gonna do ever. On any platform or anything. I'm not gonna do it for clicks or views or any of that. Followers. I mean, that's not. It's gonna stay professional all the time. And
Mhm.
Right.
so, because there's a lane for the professional.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Well, Tamika, you're in this children's space now.
Mhm.
You gonna stay in the space?
For the foreseeable future, yes. However, I do have plans to tap into a different genre.
Oh,
Middle grade. I've been trying to get to this middle grade, finish this middle grade for forever. But every time I really start to get into it, another idea for a picture book pops into my head. So I gotta get like 100% focused. Right now, I got like two picture books I'm supposed to finish, and then I'm gonna work on this middle grade. But yeah, so I do have hopes to work on longer form work, um, which is very new and very different. Sometimes feels daunting, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm ready for it.
Okay. Do you have a particular theme, like subject matter that you're
For
interested
that
in for the
particular
middle
book,
grade, for the middle graders?
I have an idea. I have a nice little summer chapters. Well, yeah, kind of chapter summary outline for it. It has some magical realism in it, but contemporary. Not heavy, heavy like fantasy or anything. Just touches of
Mhm.
magical realism, and yeah. So I've had this. It was started out as a picture book, in that same critique group I was telling you about a long time ago, and for reasons it never did become a picture book. But everybody who's read it, like, they'll ask me from time to time years later, what'd you ever do with that book about X? And I was like, well, I'm gonna make it a middle grade, and they were like, okay, because I think it's gonna be really good. And I liked it as a picture book, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it's got, and I did a first chapter. I sent it to my agent, And she was like, wow, yes. Because I was like, do you think this has legs? And she was like, yes. Wow, keep going. So now I just got to keep
Okay.
going. Hmm.
Good. So you do have an agent. Have you had
Uh,
one from the beginning?
well, yes. Well, my agent, my first agent, and this is my second agent. My first agent sold my first book. So yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. Well, your books are always very, very beautifully illustrated.
Yeah.
And so whoever illustrates any of your books, it's just beautiful. I just think it's warm. It's like a hug. And
Yeah.
And you mentioned her. Does she illustrate all of your books?
Aliana, no. So she is the only person, the only time I've had one illustrator do more than one book. So we've done two books together, and I hope we get to do more. But for all my other books, each one of them is illustrated by a different person. And
Oh,
I've had like three or four publishers that I've worked with. And my next book coming out in 2027 is with a different publisher, Candlewick, and I'll be having a different illustrator with that one as well. So
Okay, so
yeah, but
you have some diversity going on.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
so
Um,
did they decide who the illustrators were going to be, or did you have any input? Did they give you some options? How does that work exactly?
well, it works differently now than it did at the beginning. At the very beginning, they told me like who the illustrator was going to be. In these last several books, I had conversation weighed in on it, and this next book, I actually found the illustrator, and we submitted as a team.
How do you
Um,
normally find your illustrators?
well, I normally don't. I they kind of like give me feedback, but for this one, it's called More Than Enough, and it's heavily influenced or inspired by my growing up in Miami.
Hmm.
And so I think it may have been my agent who mentioned it. I was like, yeah, or maybe I did. I don't know. But I wanted to have an illustrator that was from Miami if possible, or South Florida. So to get that vibe. And it took me a while. I mean, I was Googling, I was going into groups asking, and nobody really knew somebody who illustrated children's books from South Florida. And then how did I stumble upon her? I don't know. It was online or something. And I was like, oh my gosh, wait a minute. She's from South Florida. And so we reached out to her with the manuscript. She liked it. We submitted it as a package, and that book ended up going to auction.
Nice,
And
nice.
Oh,
yeah, so that's
so
cool.
what happens at auction? I know somebody's told me before, but just to refresh my memory and for the audience if they
Mm-hmm.
don't know what happens if something goes to auction.
Okay, so we submitted the book to multiple houses and we had lots of interest. And so then it's like, okay, we got lots of interest. We're going to set up an auction. And there's different parameters that, the agent gives all the editors, and then they come back with their best offer. And it'll include, the advance amount. It'll include other rights, details, and things that they're offering, what they're asking for, what they're willing to let you keep, just their best offer. And then some of them give you. I love the ones that gave you the marketing plan and just some more information about that. And we had some marketing plans. We had some letters of why the editors were really into this book and wanted to acquire it. So then you take all that information and you figure out who you want to go with. And it's
So
not
that's
Amazing. That
often,
good.
yeah,
it makes you feel good because so many
it
people
does.
just want you.
Yeah.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
And then you have more choices and you end up with more, I'm sure, financially,
Yeah.
just
Oh,
because
yeah.
of the process than you would if it
Absolutely.
wasn't an auction.
Absolutely. And can I say this little interesting point? I don't know if I should say it, but I already started.
Bill the
Um,
bean.
I submitted this book before this auction process. I submitted it to some editors, and none of them could see the vision for it. Like none of them.
Wow.
I changed the title. That's all I changed.
The
it
only
didn't
thing
come
you
out wrong.
changed was the title, and
That's
everybody saw it.
yes. That
Interesting.
blew my mind. But
Titles are important. I mean, it's
and
the
they don't even
hook.
always stay the same. Like, more than half of my titles, that I publish different, but I guess it's just to help them see the vision. So
Yeah,
I thought that was an interesting thing.
the
Oh
title
no,
is
that's
good.
very interesting.
It is.
And it says a lot that you believe so much in your project and your vision that you knew you needed to hold on to it, because you could have just trashed the whole thing and
Mhm.
started over.
Mhm.
But what was it about the project that you said you needed to hold on to it, and all you changed was the title?
I just thought it was good. I thought it was really good. It meant something to me. It made me feel something. I think if it made me feel something that strongly, I was convinced that it was going to translate and make others feel something. And it's not like we got bad feedback on it. It was like, I just don't know what to do with this, that kind of a thing.
Okay.
And so I just believed in it. And then I think also what happened what helped in addition to changing the title is we went ahead and found an illustrator that we thought the vibe was good. We submitted some of her sample work with it as well, so they could really get the vision. And so yeah,
Okay, well, and that's a lesson to people. One, not to give up,
yes,
but sometimes you have to regroup, reform.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
yeah,
this is football season, and sometimes it's like that. If one play doesn't work, they get in the huddle and then come out with another play. My team is playing on Saturday. Anyway,
oh, congratulations,
home field
mine is out.
advantage. Seattle Seahawks, go Hawks. Okay.
Okay. Congratulations.
So anyway,
My
show
team is playing next year.
Right, same.
but
Well,
they had a run for a while. Different teams have a run for a while,
yeah.
and then it's another team's turn. So anyway, Tameka, show us the book cover one more time for Prayer
Yes.
Is. And it's
There it
just
is.
released today. Beautiful
Yay.
cover for children ages 4 to 8.
Mhm.
And congratulations.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. Have a great night and hope your tour that you're doing for the new book is a resounding success.
I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. Have a good night.
You
Thank you.
too.
You too. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.